Good morning. All right, so we are having our final breakfast in Ghana just before checking out of the African region to head over to the airport for our flight over to Addis Ababa. We have had a fabulous time in Ghana and with lots of memories that will last a lifetime, I am sure. So here we are, just getting ready. It's our last view. Yep. Let's try that.
Forget again?
No. Breakfast, just good old Americanized breakfast, I guess. So we are getting. Yes, correct. We just had the American stuff. There's certainly more Ghanaian stuff here as well. But off to the next major part of this adventure. All right, see you soon. All right, so we are at the airport here in Ghana, getting ready to check in for our next flight. We're on Ethiopian Airlines again. You may notice I started sweating again. The temperature here is not conducive to me, but we're getting ready. We've checked the weather in Addis Ababa, where we will be this evening, is cooler than here, so hopefully it will not be as shiny. But yeah, so we're doing our check-in, and then we just have to wait for a while until they're ready to board. We're about 3 hours away from boarding, so just kind of find a place to hang out. All right, see you later. So we're chilling out in the lounge here, relaxing, waiting patiently for our next flight, which is an interesting view here from the lounge. And we should be boarding for 11 a.m. here now. We will be boarding. A little bit of fun there with our technology, but we should be boarding here in the next half an hour or so for our trip over to Addis Ababa. As with all of the countries that we're visiting here during this trip, I've never been to any of these places. We will touch Ghana, we will touch Ethiopia, we will touch South Africa, we will even touch Germany on the way back, and I haven't been to any of these countries before. And we did touch Ivory Coast as well, Cote d'Ivoire, on our way here. So, you know, the saga continues. We're having a very informative period of time here, going through learning a bit about different countries, different histories, different cultures. Yeah, definitely something to have spent the time that we did over the last 30 years looking forward to being able to take a trip like this and finally being in a position to do it. More to come. All right, so we have boarded. We're on an Airbus 900, I was told. Once again in business class. I can get accustomed to this turning to the left when you come in the plane, but after this trip I don't know if that will ever be a thing that we will do again. But we shall see. So we are in business class here. Kind of cool. There's my wife getting situated in her amazing amount of leg room, seat, and so on. There's still boarding folks here, so we're having a good time. Just now getting ready for the next part of our trip. So, more to come. So this is the third type of plane that we've been on with this business class here. It's interesting to see the different configurations that they have. The last plane we were on from South African Airways was a 1-2-1. One on the left, two in the middle, one on the right. The one we're on now is 2-2-2. Two left, two middle, two right. I don't know the different sizes of the different aircraft, but you know, just have different configurations for quote-unquote business class. Interesting. All right, and so we are pushing back we will be taking off soon. Push back. Here we go. Yeah, so we have reached what I'm guessing is the end of the runway. We'll do our turnaround here and get lined up for takeoff. Always one of the most exciting parts of the flight. Over there at the airport. And there's the rush of the engines. And here we go. Yep, there it is. We can see some of the places that we saw when we were driving around Accra.
That must be the African region then, right there.
Right there. We were very nearby. Goodbye, Accra. We enjoyed your very pleasant welcome. So, pretty much we get up in the air and they start meal service. This business class stuff is very, very addicting, I guess. So we go again with the white linen tablecloth and try some drink, and this is our starter here. I requested a seafood meal and they in fact had it. Came and said to me, "Oh, we have a meal for you," and yes. So we're about to chow down. So this is the actual main meal here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it is shrimp and rice, something, and some salsa-y looking beans and I don't know if that's onion or whatever. But it is, I just bit into a little bit of it. It is extremely tasty and very cool for having requested the seafood meal and having them actually have it here. So about to chow down some more. So I'm not really normally a nervous flyer, but we just went through some turbulence, which is always interesting when you're using an aircraft this big to then have it kind of bouncing around in the sky. We seem to have quieted down a bit, although I don't know that we're fully out of it. But we have been getting a little bit of dancing here for the last maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So Captain even made an announcement to ask the flight attendants to have a seat. So hopefully this will clear up soon. Okay, so we have begun our descent into Addis Ababa, and we should be on the ground shortly, but we're looking out the window and we're seeing this. city in our third country in the African continent. We're taxiing in to the terminal area, and we will be spending one night here. And tomorrow we continue on to our fourth city and fourth country. Alright, back later. So we've just come off of our plane and gotten into a bus to come down the steps there. And I'm assuming this bus will take us over to the terminal. So we are on the ground. We're going through immigration, and we're sitting here at the carousel waiting for our bags to come off. I'm going to talk more about this later, but we are transiting through Addis Ababa, which did not require a visa on Ethiopian. Ethiopian actually has a, I don't know what, offering where if you are in transit coming in on an Ethiopian flight and going out on an Ethiopian flight, that they'll put you up in a hotel if your flight connection is more than however many hours. We're taking advantage of that, so we'll be staying here in what they call an in-terminal hotel, and then we will depart tomorrow, continuing on our flight on to South Africa. So we're just waiting for our luggage. Okay, so we are in the restaurant attached to the Skylight Hotel here, which is a huge complex. We're going to try and get some shots of that when we leave. But we're sitting down having a late dinner in Addis Ababa. We just went through a lot of fun. We had forgotten, or hadn't seen actually, that we could not bring binoculars into the country. And I brought a pair of binoculars with me because we are going on safari when we were in Johannesburg. So they didn't confiscate them, thankfully, but they did say leave my bag, my whole suitcase that the binoculars were in, at baggage claim. So I had to go over and find that out, leave that in baggage claim. We'll collect that tomorrow before we continue on to Johannesburg. So you live and you learn as we're going through all these different things. More people here spoke English than we experienced in Côte d'Ivoire. But it's still, the language barrier is still a bit of a challenge as we go through this. But this, I was talking about before, this little thing that Ethiopian Airlines has is astonishing. You're transiting through, I believe it's less than 24 hours, you get a voucher for a room at this very nice hotel. We got food vouchers for dinner, breakfast tomorrow, lunch. We have meals taken care of. While we are here, we had a bus that brought us over from the main terminal of the airport, which is huge, absolutely massive, to the hotel. And there wasn't any visa requirement. We didn't need to get Ethiopian visas as part of that voucher. I guess we had a temporary one-day visa, whatever. So we're here. We're about to chow down on some food here from the buffet, and we'll see what happens next. So we've just come out from having our meal, and this is the lobby of one of the towers. There are several. I think we're in the A tower here, and our room is actually in the C tower. We're going to cross over and see if we can get a nice shot of the buildings from outside. But this is a ginormous facility catering to traffic going through Addis Ababa airport. Back in a bit. So coming out of the front of the building where we are, C tower, is across from us. I don't know if these are two towers here. Both of them are C or D or whatever. So we're in C. We're coming out of A. And this is the Ethiopian Skylight Hotel. It's a lot of big buildings, and I believe most of this is just having to do with transiting passengers, hotels, etc. I'm going to turn around here in a second and look back at the building we just came out of. The building ahead of us is where our room is, so we're heading to there. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is where we're entering into our building, but I'm going to turn around here. And this is where we were just having dinner. Another set of buildings over there. And here's the sign, the Ethiopian Skylight Hotel. But and all of this is part of the same complex. It's kind of stunning just how big this is. Wow. This is the lobby entranceway of where we are staying, and it is just still Christmas time, so we're here in early January, so it's still just wow, big and beautiful, and all still part of the airport complex, I believe. That's the front reception area, and in Africa we've seen many people walking with things on their heads just as a way of carrying things rather than just carrying them in your arms. We saw a lot of that when we were in Ghana, and a lot of the hawkers carry the wares that they are selling on their heads. And back up to our room. So this is our room in our hotel here in Addis Ababa. Pretty nice room. So here's the bathroom. And what is really interesting is here's the tub, shower and stuff. But if you look over here, there's a glass looking right over into, man, that's the bed over there. And there's this glass looking right over from the shower, which I thought, never seen that before. But thankfully, right here, there we can lower this shutter between the bathroom and the bedroom. But I thought that that was kind of cool. I've never seen that before. And then here's the rest of the room. We got a king size bed and a little desk area and a little sitting area. And then looking out of the window here, this is, I'm assuming, still part of the whole airport complex. Not quite sure what I'm looking at, but there's the other hotel that I showed you before. Well, the other tower across from us. But here, this is part of Addis Ababa. Wow.